What's going on, guys? This is the Minority Input coming at you with another section. Now we're talking about corporate America. We're going to jump right straight into it. So, we kind of want to talk about what's the difference of perspective on what corporate America is, if we see ourselves in corporate America, and just really like what it is, if we feel like, it's a good avenue or whatnot. But, of course, being T.M.I, we're just going to really just talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's just jump straight into it. Aaron, you have any input?
Well, first, I definitely want to introduce our guest.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Can you tell me your name real quick?
My name is Kalen Hobson.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a pre-med psych major with a minor in LGBTQ studies, period.
Yes.
Okay, period.
Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for
coming
having
through.
me. I was really excited to do this, actually.
For
I was really
sure.
happy when she told me about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Jada with the guest. Yeah, we like that. We like that.
All right, we got Jada,
That's
Isaac,
what I do.
AJ, and Aaron with him. So, all right, corporate America. Let's see. What do you guys think?
So, myself personally, when I think
get
of
into
corporate
it.
America, I don't see myself.
Yeah.
I'm being straight up. Like, I got this picture of it, and I got this picture in my head of like a white woman in a suit, arms folded.
Mhm.
Seriously, I'm being so real. Like, I imagine it all the time. Like, standing on the back of something.
Mhm.
Kind of when you go to like a career fair, you're handed out pamphlets about the company. Just think about how many times have you seen the person being of color? How many times have you seen the person being black? How many times have you seen the person being Mexican?
Right.
Really, how many times have you seen that? So I just feel like that image is like embedded in my head, mainly because that's just what I have seen, like on pamphlets. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
even for the guests, like, I want you to, like, think in your mind, just, like, close your eyes. What do you imagine when you think of an executive? Like, are you seeing someone that looks like you? Because for many, you don't. Like Jada just said, she's a black woman and she doesn't see herself. And really what it is, it's media. Some people have, like, people in their family or friends and who are in executive roles so they can see themselves in it because they have experience with that. If you don't have experience, all you can do is see those people, you see on pamphlets and stuff like
Seeing
that.
media and whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, for me personally, like, we already talked about this.
yeah.
When I first think about, like, someone in corporate America, I think, like, my stepmom,
Mhm.
just a normal, like, black woman. Like, I don't know. And also, like, when I was, like, growing up and shit, even the, oh, wait, can I cuss? It's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you for asking, though.
Okay.
I like that.
But, like, even when, like, I was, like, growing up and stuff, and, like, even if I don't see, like, black people, like, I feel like my parents always made it seem like they are there. Like, just because, like, you don't see them all the time doesn't mean that, like, corporate America is just all, like, white people and that's it. Or, like my family, too, is, like my stepmom, she's, like, president of a company.
Mhm.
I have, like, a cousin, he's, like, a lawyer for some big company in, like, New York. Like, I, like, have people in my family who've done, like, big things. Like, I always, like, imagine, like, them instead of just seeing, like, oh, like,
Mhm.
Andrew.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I can definitely, like, see that, but for me, like, my experience growing up, my parents tried to instill in me that I can always do, whatever I put my mind to, that type of mentality. But then, like, they did let me know, like, all right, when you go to college, you're not really going to see yourself. You're not going to be surrounded by people that look like you. When you go into, like, the workforce, like, you're not going to really see people that look like you. And yes, in certain fields you might, but if you're going into, like, management, business, things like that, yes, there are a lot of, black businessmen, but they're in specific areas. Like, you go to Atlanta, you're going to see a ton of black business people. But here in Michigan, you're not really going to see, like, CEOs, like, a ton of them being black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree because, if we're looking through a microscope here, specifically like in Michigan or in the United States in general, then I think that, like that also has to do with, the different variety of, demographics that you see inside of a corporation. I mean, me personally growing up, going to Mexico and different parts of the world, I have seen, corporate, like different nationalities and all that stuff. But you know, there's a lot of different corporations that, you know, also focus on nonprofit, you know, I guess you can say things that go on, and you know, different political like agendas and all that. So you know, it could be in health, foreign organizations, you know, Medicare, public health, multinational corporations. Sometimes a lot of those corporations they tend to, you know, begin to diversify their employees. So you know, I think that we're getting to an age where it's going towards a more diverse executive board rather than just having the same faces, you know, on the board.
Yeah, this summer I had the pleasure of interning with the city of Detroit. I worked in HR, LR, worked in each sector of HR. And one thing that I noticed is that majority of the people in HR was black.
Yeah, really.
A lot of people like that was in leadership roles was black, but then again, it was like the main leadership role, which was the HR director, she was white, and I found it weird, or I found it funny that when Mike Duggan, the mayor of Detroit, got elected, he appointed people. He just felt the need to demote people, put them other places, and what he did was kind of like made the city of Detroit look more like him. So,
and what does he look like? Just so those viewers, you know.
Yeah,
Mike Duggan is a white man.
Okay.
And before I interned for the city of Detroit, or a little before he got elected, the HR director was a black woman. Before that, it was a black man. Now the HR director is a white woman with no education. Just to let y'all know, she don't have a degree in anything.
And Detroit is predominantly black.
It's predominantly black.
Yeah.
So that kind of bothered me, because I do feel like once you go somewhere, you want to be around people that kind of look like you. That kind of makes you feel comfortable. So I kind of feel like that's why he did what he did, to make him feel comfortable, because the HR director sit right aside of him next to the board. You literally go on the City of Detroit website, you're going to see see a picture of her, just like the person, deputy director of benefits was a black woman and I was a white man. So I just kind of found that to be prominent. Like, I just felt that to be really important, and I wanted to bring that up just because I felt like that was important to, you know, bring up. Is that how he switched everybody out to look more like him, and now no one in those leadership roles
and I feel
are
like
black.
One thing that people will kind of think about, all right, just play devil's advocate, there are more white people than black people, you know, on this earth. You know,
I mean, true. You're right.
Like in the U.S., you know, in the U.S., there's a ton more, you know. So you would think that there would be more in those roles, you know. So
True.
It's not, and I want to like let people know it's not the fact of I expect it to be 50-50, because yes, if there's more of this certain type of, you know, this race, I expect there will probably be more in those roles, but it's when there's a lack of opportunity for others. That's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah, I think it's very systematical how, you know, a lot of, you know, I guess you could say minorities actually get the opportunity to go to college and to eventually land a blue-collar job, such as being a corporate, you know, executive, or being on a board, or even, you know, being a stockholder, because they don't have that generational knowledge that, you know, a lot of other minorities might have. And so I think that's one of the issues why you don't see a lot of, you know, minorities in the executive boards or anything like that. I think it's because of the slight edge that, you know, they might have.
Another thing I wanted to point out, like, as you were saying, that the majority, of course, is white. Being a minority, we have to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard to get even considered to be in their position when it comes to like getting jobs. So just in case like you do go to an interview and you see somebody that have a bachelor's in whatever, you have to have twice as that. And that's just being real. I mean, that's the same thing with President Obama. He had to be twice as good to even be considered to be the president. And still with that happening, like in the media, they still try to portray him as this terrible person. And you see now who's in office don't have as nearly as much credentials as he had. I mean, like, so I mean, I'm just saying that's the key. That's the key right there.
Yeah,
Going back to what I was saying about the HR director. She don't have no education. She don't have any education. The woman that's below her, which is my mentor, has 2 degrees and a law degree. And oh yeah, she that shit.
Yeah, talk about that. That's the T right there.
You don't play with her. she has a lot of stuff under her belt, and like, why wasn't she considered for that position? You feel me? And that's just kind of lead me to the question: is do y'all see yourself being the face of corporate America?
And I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Let's dive into this because
Can I toss in a fact real quick?
Yeah.
Before we got into it, so I went and looked up like actually on the census, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the percent of white people in the U.S. is 76.6.
Mm-hmm.
So that just to give you like, you know,
That's crazy.
it's crazy to
That's
think
crazy.
that, right? Because we all come from places you probably see so many, but I just wanted to toss it in for like reference from the last one. But yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
yeah, it's crazy. I thought about the fact that like whenever I'm talking to my friends or people, it's like they're always talking about Fortune 500 companies. They're talking about being at the top when they do their work and everything like that. But it really makes me think, wow, why do we really want to be in corporate America?
Right.
And it's good because it's kind of confusing because like we're gonna be in corporate America, we're gonna make a lot of money.
Right.
But I also realized that in corporate America, like, yeah, there's a lot of people making a lot of money, but they don't have wealth in all areas of their life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they might be making a lot of money, but they might either have a broken family. They might, not have good time with relatives or with people, good relationships, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really interesting how, like, a lot of people want to be in corporate America, but they don't realize, like, what comes with that. Like, they might have a lot of money, but not a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think time is more valuable than money for me. But, like, if you can have both.
That's beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. That's
I love
beautiful.
If you can have a lot of money and a lot of time, that's
That
life.
poetry got
Yeah.
Right. that's life right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like figuring out ways to I don't know. I mean, sometimes I have controversial views, but I just
Right.
feel like okay, so what? Okay, so yeah, the main face of corporate America is a white man or a white woman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. There's no reason to hate or be upset about that because what's that going to do? Let's create something else, a different avenue for black. And honestly, I'm not the type of person where I feel like only black people should do this or that. I'm very inclusive, so I feel like white people can too. But
Even minorities, not even just black.
Yeah, minorities. Yes,
Mhm.
like let's create an
That's
avenue where we can be wealthy in all areas of our life, 360.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't really see myself in corporate America because of their values in corporate America. So, like, I'm the type of person where, like I was saying, time, money, I'm a huge family man. So it's like, if I can't be with my family, I don't want it.
Beautiful.
But, so, you feel me?
But is that...
No, you don't?
He don't. No,
I'm challenging.
So,
Yeah.
I get where you coming from.
Mhm.
Like, you'd rather be with your family. Like, you'd rather it be well-rounded.
Mhm.
So you saying if you had to choose, like, one or the other, you would choose, like, family over the wealth.
Okay, so now you...
I'm just asking the question.
No, because
I'm saying.
I believe that I am going to get to a point where I have a lot of money and a lot of time. That's what I believe.
But on that way, are you going to sacrifice the family for the money, or are you going to sacrifice the money for your family? Which one do you think you'd be more willing to sacrifice?
There's no... It's
honestly, hard.
If we're being honest, like, if you want wealth in life, right, you're going to be busy. You're not going to spend all the time going with your family. If you look at those people who do have a good... If they're living comfortably, like, money, they're good, I guarantee they miss birthdays.
They
miss practices, games.
They miss so
that's
much.
true because my mom has missed a lot because of work.
Yeah.
And I mean, but me, at the end of the day, I am going to respect that because I do have a place to eat. I have somewhere to live.
Right.
I mean, she missing work over something that small.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other things gonna be sacrificed in the long run. Shit, life may be out.
Not the light.
I'm being real. The lights may be out, so it's like little things. Like when you talking, like, and I understand. I love how you so family oriented, and I want to be family oriented too. But I want to get to a place in my life where my family do understand that. a lot of times work can come into play, and it may trump something that's going on that you feel important. But that's just me being a professional, and also me gotta keep food on the table. What's the deal?
Oh no! I just want because I agree with you completely. Like I feel like when you're trying to get to that point where you actually can be comfortable and have family, like you gotta sacrifice. Family sometimes.
That's for sure.
You have to
when you're young, like
you have to sacrifice like the family. Like there are certain times where you're gonna be like, damn, like can I make it to this game? Can I do? If I have to stay late, or can I make it to like this basketball, football, baseball, whatever?
Championships. It's regional. Your
regional.
son been practicing outside too.
Right.
No,
Hey,
you're not feeling
scenario.
like that.
Championship game. Your son.
State championship. Football down
right.
at where the Lions play. That was called now. Ford Field.
All right, you got that, or the company that you're running for. It's like. Y'all got a business meeting. This is like y'all been preparing like all year for this. Like this is your promotion. You're running this. This is your name on the line.
This your project right here.
But this son, any son, he wants his father to be there to see him, at this game. Which one do you choose?
Okay, so I'm trying to make a lifestyle so he's gonna enjoy when he's older. So of course, I'm gonna be at that meeting.
All right now.
But, I mean, you gotta have someone there in your place. You gotta record it. You gotta make him feel good. But at the same time, I feel like it's just good to at least let him know. Look, for example, you're 14 doing this. When you're 20 or whatever, I'm gonna be able to take you to a car dealership and tell you choose whatever car you want.
But
so I feel like
does that? Wait, no.
So now I'm going too far.
Wait. Time out. Y'all like agreeing with this, but I'm about to say something. Ooh. So what you just said was. All right, it's okay. I missed a bonding moment with you, but I'll buy you a piece of something tangible.
Ooh.
So
let me get this one.
And that's what you just said.
That is.
We all agree. We're like, yes, smart. But at the same time, if we think about it, like, no one wants to sacrifice like bonding time for something tangible. But
that's a good point. Yeah.
So like, the way my parents are set up, right?
All right.
Especially like my dad. Like if something does happen for like a bonding moment, something like that like misses out, like I kind of get like a reparation for it. Okay. So like I grew up like that. And even then, like when I was younger, maybe I kind of used to be like, oh, like I wish like we spent more time together, like blah, blah, blah. But then like as I got older, like things would change because like obviously when you're younger, your parents, they're younger, they still working things out, they still trying to get things together. That's one thing. But now like I'm older, like all of my parents have more time. Even like my stepmom who's like running a fucking company, she has a lot more time now than she ever did like when we were younger. Like they go on trips, like she's still like there, like she's present for everything.
Wait, like so she has more time because she can like delegate tasks to other people.
Yeah, like if she don't feel like driving to work, she can just be like, fuck it, like I'm gonna stay home, type this out, email it to them.
I mean that's what happens.
That's what I'm
if
saying.
She put in that
like,
work prior for that to happen.
You have to, like you have to sacrifice.
It has
like
to be a time. Yeah,
people go like that. 10 years of hustling, like just straight grinding, so they do get to that position where it's like, oh, okay.
That's why I feel like it's okay to like sacrifice that because like right now you're not gonna see me as much. Like I'm sorry, but like right here, right now you're not gonna see me as much. But like that's not gonna be how it shouldn't always be like that.
That's my thing. It shouldn't always be like that.
I think that goes into the rags to riches story. You know how like when you work hard and you want to achieve something as much as you want to breathe. You eventually get there. Like, for example, I have a story here that has to do with a janitor where he was working for Frito-Lay. And one day, one of the machines got stuck, like all the Cheetos and all that stuff. So what he decided, he took some of those bags home and he put chili powder on top of it and he created a whole new sub-brand, which was called the Flaming Hot Cheetos. And eventually, now he's become a CEO for PepsiCo. So, I mean, coming from humble beginnings, working hard. Yeah. I think, and his name is actually, I think, Montonez. That's his name. His last name is Montonez. And he's
he probably
course. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like-
that's
What
like
website was that
he one
from?
of us.
Yes, so this is from Food Beast.
Okay.
The article is called "A Humble Mexican Janitor Accidentally Invented Flaming Hot
He
Cheetos."
accidentally.
Yeah, look that up, y'all. Look that up. That's
Wow.
that's a good stuff.
That's fire right there. Period.
That also reminds me of this one article that I was reading, and once I find it just was like for class. Once I find that article, I'm gonna post it so we can go coincide with this podcast. But the article was about kind of like the glass ceiling. If y'all don't know what the glass ceiling
Yeah.
is, it's about a woman can only make it so far in corporate America, and one of those reasons being that a lot of women don't sacrifice putting on hold starting a family for a company, because once you get so far in a once you get so far in a company being of like leadership status or being of like a superior status, you can't take a long amounts of time off like a woman would do once she conceived. So that article just kind of was follow a lot of women that eventually were just saying that that they put their job to the back burner to start a family just because they have to risk their marriage being tarnished, because ain't nobody want to wait for you to start, to have a baby just because you want to like do this in the company. So I just kind of felt like that is really big when it comes to this particular topic of sacrificing, and goes hand in hand with corporate America. I just feel like women have to do that twice as hard.
We have to get to a point where it levels off. Because even at my job, I know like this winter we've had so many days. Well,
Where do you work?
Yeah, where I work. But you said where do I work?
No, where do you work? So we all know.
The Life Science College of Nursing for MSU.
Oh, really? I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't get a text from them. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
you
like,
opposite.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Oh, okay, something like nothing major.
you know.
Obviously, sir.
But yeah, one of the advisors for like the nursing, her husband is a police officer, right? And so the kids, they have like 3 young kids. They've had so many snow days, and what people don't realize is that couple, they're like, who's taking off work now? Because now when your child is that young, it's not like we all, come on now, if we being honest, our parents left us at home by ourselves all the time.
I mean,
But-
I was like 7 just watching TV. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the
Shout out to
ramen. No names. No names. No, but like these kids are like young, like just starting like daycare. Sometimes daycare will even like cancel because they're not going to come in.
Right.
And so it's like they've had so many times where they're like, okay, who's taking off? You take off today, or I'm gonna take off. Oh, I got a meeting. Oh, I got this. I got that. You know what I'm saying? And that comes to like into play. That's going to set you back if you have kids, and it's a harsh winter. Like they have freaking like almost 2 weeks off of school. Who job letting them take time off like that? You know,
They don't care.
Your
They
job
don't care.
doesn't. If you need time off, you only get so many days you can call in that day or the
Period.
night before. And even if it's like my husband needs to go to work, they're like, you do too. Or my wife needs to go to work, you do too.
Yeah.
And
And then they go, throw in, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
But then again, at the end of the day, is it? It's
not
really
their
not.
problem.
I mean, think about when you in that position, and it's just kind of like, who's going to do your work when you aren't here? It's just so much to take in when you think about being in corporate America. Because, I mean, you can't just put your work aside to somebody else when you're not, like, on that level. Like you were saying, how your mom do that. If you're not on that level, you can't really do that. I mean, then
that's
eventually,
facts.
once you do get to that level, you still really can't keep doing that because it's your position to do certain things and to approve certain things, or you the one that got to get stuff moving. So it's just kind of like a family will affect a lot of stuff. And story time again. My I want to go to law school.
Really?
Yes, we're
Yeah.
professional over here.
Yes, pretty
know
professional.
that.
Yeah, I do. I want to be a lawyer because eventually I want to write policies. That's really
Yes.
Policy making is what? Yes.
Yes.
That's what I want to do. I want to write policies. That's the ultimate goal that an HR director. But that's for another time. 'Cause I could talk all day about that.
Oh, trust me, she can.
But no, she was just telling me about her struggles and how she had to take the bar exam. And if y'all don't know, the bar exam is just a very tough exam. That basically says that you are a lawyer. You passed law school, you know your stuff. So okay, here's your title. And she was saying that she had to sacrifice her marriage because it was times where she was up studying at night for this exam. She was just putting her husband to the back burner, and like she did a lot of sacrifice. She just now having kids, and I mean I don't want to talk about her that much, but she is older. But
technology.
She is up there within age, and she just not having kids because she's able to now, and she's at that point in her career where she can take off days and put her work aside to put it on somebody else. But it's just like when she was younger, she was sacrificing her marriage, and now she get to kind of like kick back and relax and do those type of things. But when she was just taking the bar exam, she's putting so much time in it and not paying attention to her husband, and he was getting upset. But I mean, now he realized how he didn't want to leave. Yeah, he shouldn't have left. Like he realizing that he appreciates those times because
good job there. Let me come home.
He see what she driving in. So I mean, it's just a lot of sacrificing, and I kind of feel like there's a lot of things that we have to take into consideration when we, as not even only as like minorities, as just a regular person, have to think about when you want to go into corporate America. I mean, but then again, like this is like now I want to like bring up the question of how do we change these things? How do we change these barriers? It's holding us back, and not only as a minority, but like as just a person in general. How do you change things to make corporate America more what's the word I'm looking for?
Inclusive?
I guess so.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Well, suggestions, please. I think like a big thing is like you really need to know like what's worth like sacrificing. Because like I'm bringing my stepmom again. Okay, so like my little brother, when he was born, he was like really, really sick when he was younger. Like he almost like died, like actually. And she used to like take days off work, and like literally like her job basically was like, hey, you take off more days, like you're getting fired. Like period. Like
no tampon.
I wanted to say it, but I was like, I don't know first.
But so she really had to like make the decision of like, all right, like am I gonna stay and like try to like take care of like my new baby, or am I gonna try to be like, okay, like F it, like let me get my corporate job together, let me make sure like things are good there. And like at the end of the day, like she had to quit. And like she quit. Like I mean, I felt like it's like an obvious thing.
I mean, it is, but damn, they didn't like try to work.
No, that's just it. Like,
and I don't want to hold that up for a second. That's why they kind of upgraded the laws for FMLA, just for when stuff like that happened. Yeah, it will be illegal for them to do anything like that. I mean, but I don't know which little brothers we talking about, David. How long ago
Dallas.
Was that?
So Dallas he'll be 16.
So that was a minute ago. Yeah. They've updated the laws of FMLA where they will make that illegal for something like that to happen, because you should be able to take time off from your job to go handle your family. You shouldn't have to choose between them.
Exactly. So
that shouldn't, even though you know what you go choose, but still they should never make nobody to do that.
But like obviously like it worked out for her. Like in the long run, like she did the right thing.
Right.
But like the fact that like she had to like choose, like. And like I didn't know like it changed or whatever.
FMLA gives you so many days to take off.
Look that up, guys.
Family Medical Leave Act basically just gives you. They don't give you a plus amount of days. If you got somebody in your family that's sick, you telling your job, okay, I'm going to take care of them. No penalty against you. You can do that. Same thing with that. Like allows the woman after she conceives to take this many days off. So it's really an important law to look up if you think about going into corporate America, so you can know your rights and know what the employer can and cannot do.
It's just good to know your rights in general.
Yeah.
I feel like so many period. So many right? Okay. The girls. We're bringing into this, but no, it's important. So many people really just don't know their rights, and so when they get into these situations, if someone wants to make a fool out of you, they will never tell you your rights.
Exactly.
Okay?
So bring that for the people in the back.
Bring that back.
Let me get a little closer. A little ASMR. If someone makes to make...
Here we go.
If someone wants to make a fool out of you... Ooh, I forgot what I said.
They never gonna tell you right.
Yeah, they're gonna tell you right. press rewind.
All right.
Go.
Okay,
That's all you
press
need.
Yeah, press rewind. Press
We'll
rewind.
get that copyrighted. 'Cause
No,
they
but
ain't gonna
that's
play
so
you like
true.
that.
Like with any situation, whether it's like work, police, whatever it is,
Oh,
people always try to get leverage over you, and knowledge is leverage.
Mhm.
If they know something you don't know,
Mm,
believe
That's
they're
power.
not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's just okay. Story time. No, not even story time. Another thing. This is me bringing my major into it. I
trust me,
can't
she
help
know
it.
her major.
I'm sorry, I can't
Okay.
help it. That's like it's this. I just want everybody to know, if y'all listening, that it's this law called right to work. I don't know y'all if y'all heard of it. Have y'all heard of it?
No, keep
Mhm.
going.
Right to work it passed, and it basically allows unions. Unions is like a worker centered group that works for the worker.
Mhm.
It allows right to work basically allows people to not join a union and basically reap the benefits of the union. So what
I've
I'm
heard
saying
that,
is you don't have to pay the dues to
Oh.
keep a union going. You don't have to do that anymore. And it
They
was
still
just,
have to work for you. Yeah.
and they still have to work for you. And I
Mhm.
hate that so much, because that means it's going to be a decline of unions. And that's going in the long run, a lot of jobs will be being lost in a couple of years. I'm just trying to let
Because
y'all
of
know,
it,
just
yeah.
because of that. Like, but I don't know if I can say it.
Go ahead, say it. Say that. Say
We
it.
TMI, come on.
Say it.
A lot of, because I work for a union, but a lot of unions, when they are trying to recruit you, will not tell you that you have the right to not join the union. We still have to represent you. They're gonna let you know that.
Prime example.
They're
Yeah.
they're not gonna let you know that, and they're gonna make it seem like, well, the union's gonna be here for you because this can happen, this can happen, this can happen, and we are gonna get you out of that situation. So if they're not telling people, they're still gonna bring in the dues, they still gonna bring in the money.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, that's really illegal, but I mean, that's a grimy business. So it's just kind of went hand in hand what you're saying. They got this
For
upper
sure.
hand over a lot of people by not
Mhm.
telling them, yeah, you have to pay dues. You don't have to pay dues. So just want to bring that up.
I'm happy you said that. I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't know. Your career probably won't cause for a union, but
I mean, period, point blank. I'm gonna be running my own mental institution sometimes soon.
Okay.
Period.
Tell them
you
about
know,
it.
we don't want to get in.
We don't get too into it.
We don't want to get into it.
Too into it. Nah.
Pay for that.
Yeah, exactly. They gotta know what we talking about. One of these days.
But I mean, as far as like the glass ceiling, like that's a huge thing. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's not there. They don't say it, but it's like you can only get so far in corporate America, everything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge proponent for. Yeah, I know we gotta like people of color, minorities, like we gotta work a lot harder to get to that same place.
Mhm.
But honestly, it's at a point where it's like I'm tired of hearing the negative. I'm tired of having to be the underman, the underdog, everything like that. I just feel like when we can like, I love seeing people of color, minorities like in places of power or working that way and not using excuses, even though we have every reason to submit to that excuse.
Mhm.
I love it when we work over that excuse and we're still finding a different way to do things. And that's just kind of how I look at it. But I know like it's kind of controversial.
Mhm.
But
very.
Yeah, I know,
Very.
you
I
can
had
go
some
very
stuff to
far
say,
in
but I
that.
didn't want to interrupt.
But I just feel like, and I'm looking at y'all faces too.
I'm not gonna hold you up. I'm thinking about something so left field.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
Go ahead,
let's see
ahead.
what left field we got.
Okay, it's kind of similar. So
See how
like
far we got.
black
It's a
actors,
home
right?
Mhm.
A lot of times you don't see black actors winning those like Oscars and all that type of stuff.
True.
And if they win an Oscar, I'm sorry, usually they're like a slave or the help.
Yeah, like some of them Grammys.
Yeah.
That's the tea.
They're not just like
That's just that on that.
you know what I'm saying.
That
I'm
is,
like
that
when he
is.
said he's tired of hearing like the negative. I feel like I'm tired of seeing these people like you're such an amazing actor.
I'm
You
tired of
play
that too, yeah.
an amazing slave. You play an amazing
Oh,
helper.
man,
You
you
know-
played an amazing
You
slave.
never
What?
see these black artists, actors getting Oscars or whatever for like just something powerful. Like I mean, those things are powerful, yes, but
It
we
is.
know a lot about slaves. We know a lot about the help. Like we can do a lot more than those.
And I
roles.
kind of feel like they throw them awards at us for us to be like, okay, here you
Do it
are.
more.
Like, I mean, no, I just feel like they throw
Oh.
the awards at us like, okay, here you
You
are.
got one.
You got an award, so what? You don't have any more to talk about. We're giving you awards. Like, what else? You're gonna keep complaining? You're gonna keep saying we're not getting an award.
That's
Now the award
crazy.
not good enough because you played a slave. Then what do you want it for? Then that's when that conversation comes into play. But yeah, what you was saying, Aaron,
You know what I'm
that was
saying?
the true
The-
tea.
You
That
made me
was
think
the
about that
tea.
'cause it's like power levels and everything. You know what I'm saying? These actors, yeah, they would like Black Panther. Everyone loved Black Panther. It was really big, but okay, no. If we're honest, Black Panther was a great movie. It really was. But I feel like people really hyped it up because it was a predominantly black cast.
Say it again!
You know, which it is. It wasn't that much different from any Avengers movie. It had the same components, you know. But people were like, oh my. The reason they hyped it up, though, I feel like, is because they're like, well, at least we finally have a movie where it's like all these black people and we're not. And we're powerful. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're rich. We're wealthy. We're smart.
But even in that movie, though, the white man did save the day at the very end. And that still pissed me off because it was just like, why you can't just give us like the whole thing? It's like you wanted to get us so far and we was at the finish line. All you had to do was just let somebody else take the cake. And then it was like the white man came through and was like, "Oh, sorry y'all." Like, "Ooh, like y'all was so close."
It's something that you see in so many different avenues, not just corporate America, not just business. Because like honestly, you think of business, that's in everything. Yeah. Everything is a business. Yeah. Your life is a business.
Yeah.
To somebody.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm gonna quote you a lot.
I feel like I'm speaking some stuff.
Follow us on social media. That's the minority input because I'm about to be quoting him.
Right.
He is speaking true.
No, for real though. That's like how it is though. I feel like we all see it. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things. No one really says it. Like you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, they're just hyping stuff because it's
all
like
covert.
Yeah, you know, because you know if you say it out loud, especially to like the wrong crowd, you're going to be looked at as being negative or you know whatnot. But yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. Like you said though, like I do feel like we should stop putting so much importance on things like the Grammys or the Oscars and all that type of stuff because it's like at no point has that been like marketed like for us, like for minorities, period. Mm-hmm. It was always made for like, this is what white America likes. This is what white America is listening to. This is like what they watched. Mm-hmm. And it's always been like...
Go to the BET Awards.
That is what the BET Awards.
Go to the Essence
That's
Awards.
what it's made.
Essence.
Yeah.
Because we're not reflected in that. I mean,
but they don't ever put as much importance on the BET Awards. And they tried that and it didn't work.
Did you hear about the Black Wall Street?
Yeah, Black Wall Street got burned down.
Look it up.
Wow.
Google that.
Look up Black Wall Street. Wow. That was our
Anytime we try to like make something, it's like either they destroy it or they demean it. Mm-hmm. So BET, no one's ever like, ooh, like yeah, like they got a BET award though. But like, but like they got a BET award.
BET
it's like,
messed up for themselves a little bit because they look too petty now. Yeah. Like everyone used to like BET, but now they were just talking about Nicki Minaj getting snatched
about Drive by her lace front, and I was really just like,
let's not get deep into
stuff like that.
I don't feel like it today.
Yeah, that's surface level. You gotta, if you want people to take you serious, you gotta take yourself serious.
Exactly. Like you can't be out here playing around and acting. I want to say something, but I'm not going to say it on here. You know, like, you can't be acting, like, a certain way, and you want to, like, you can't support certain black people. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm going to say. If you're going to be black entertainment, television, you want to be all of this, you can't be like, ooh, yeah, we only going to support this black artist.
Right.
We only going to support this couple over here. Like, you got to support all black people or just don't support black people at all. What's the point?
That's what you're saying? I don't want to argue.
Okay. But to wrap it up, I feel like, honestly, my last thought on this is the biggest things we need to do to change it is, and it's not just minorities, this is everyone, like being inclusive, showing different representation of different people, you know, whether it's media or whatnot, that also just like lending a hand. Like if you're a minority in like a powerful position, look for people to mentor. Look for others to like bring up to help. Don't always go to those like schools that have like the best grades, the best this or that. You know, like sometimes those schools who are struggling need that inspiration just as much.
Maybe even more.
I love it. So this concludes our second episode of The Minority Input. You guys follow us on social media at The Minority Input on Twitter and Instagram. Turn on those post notifications so you can be updated when we drop these podcasts. They getting real spicy, y'all. So thank you for listening, Kaylin. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It was a great show. Okay, talk to you guys later.
quick,
All right.
a quick reference to the article that I was reading is the author was the next shark, and through the website Food Feast, the article name was "A Humble Mexican Janitor Accidentally Invented Flaming Hot Cheetos, and This Is His Life."
Isaac coming through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on.
All right.
No lawsuits. No
No
lawsuits.
All right, thank
Awesome.
you guys.
Good stuff. Thank you guys. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.